Hello to what I consider my USS Liberty family. I remember first learning about the vicious attack on your ship in about 2000. I had grown up in a military family and yet somehow had completely missed it. I then met a few others who had also recently learned about the attack, and we were all shocked. Then by happenstance, one of our group was working in a VA hospital nearby and passed a man wearing a USS Liberty hat. My friend talked to the man and learned he was Terry Halbardier, your shipmate who heroically, at enormous risk to his life, had managed to attach a cable that made it possible for an SOS to get out that Liberty was under attack. That saved your lives. I then a little later drove 8 hours to meet with Terry and learn about what had happened firsthand. Ever since that time, I have been trying to tell as many Americans as I possibly can about this brutal attack, about Israeli forces trying to sink the ship with all men aboard, shelling and napalming the ship, torpedoing it, machine gunning sailors, and shooting up life rafts, then lying about it afterwards, and calling survivors and family members of the fallen anti-Semitic for telling the truth about the attack and demanding a real investigation. I've written about the many U.S. officials who have stated that it was an intentional attack by Israel, not a mistake, as Israel and its powerful partisans try to claim. Americans like Admiral Thomas Moorer, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and World War II hero, and Rear Admiral Merlin Starring, former head of Navy JAG, both of whom I met and spoke with on a number of occasions and issued very powerful public statements, some of them on Capitol Hill. Captain Ward Boston, senior legal counsel for the Navy's Court of Inquiry, which claimed Israel's attack had supposedly been caused by mistaken identity. Captain Boston publicly announced that in reality this was untrue. The evidence, he said, was clear. Both he and Admiral Isaac Kidd, who had conducted the investigation, believed with certainty, Captain Boston stated, that the Israeli attack was a deliberate effort to sink an American ship and murder its entire crew, but were ordered to cover this up. I remember meeting with Captain Boston in his home in Coronado, California, where he described these facts. All of these and many other statements by American officials and the detailed evidence refuting the Israeli claims are public and easily available. Yet they are almost never reported by U.S. media, who instead consistently repeat lies made by the nation that attacked our ship, our men, and our country, in what Admiral Moorer stated had been an act of war against the United States. The organization I founded, If Americans Knew, has worked to overcome this cover-up. We've put up billboards about the Liberty around the country, despite many being blocked by Israel partisans. As you'll recall, we came to your reunion a few years ago and recorded survivors' moving statements about what it was like on board the ship during the attack. We then placed advertisements featuring your powerful words on Fox TV, Tucker Carlson, and The Five, and then on hundreds of radio stations around the country. Some patriotic hosts offered to introduce these ads, but were overruled by higher-ups. We've posted a documentary and website with these interviews and produced hundreds of Liberty hats, some of which I believe are there with you today, which I hope all the attendees will wear when you go home. As I wrote over 20 years ago, the cover-up on Israel is far larger and more pervasive than any other cover-up I've seen in my entire life, and that it spans the political spectrum from the left to the right. It will take all of us who know about the Liberty to overcome this cover-up. We will be attacked for doing so. Some of us will get death threats. We will all be smeared as anti-Semites, even the many Jewish Americans who speak out against Israeli crimes. But we must all still speak out. To me, it is our duty as human beings, as Americans, as people who seek justice for all. I will never forget not only the survivors I've had the honor to meet and know, but also the sisters of beloved brothers who were killed by Israeli forces on June 8th, and the son who lost a father that day. I never met the 34 bereft mothers, but I can imagine their enduring grief. I'm a mother of a son, the sister of a brother, and so I will always speak out on behalf of them and of you. Thank you for continuing to hold these important reunions and memorials, and for allowing me to be part of them through the years. Please continue to stay strong and know how important you are to so many of us. Your mission is valiant and needed.